welcome to Meet the Biz. Today, I've seen this man in action, and he is the brilliance of inclusion. I mean, which his shows are. I mean, he's a lyricist at Netflix, a former creative executive at DreamWorks Animation. He's an incredible force. We're going to hang out with Conor Hanney today. Conor!
What's up, David? Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I always get excited at the beginning. I just, you know.
Sure. Way too kind, though. Way too much build up.
No, it's not enough. It's not enough. So you're a lyricist.
Yes.
When did that begin?
I started writing lyrics after college, actually. I got into long form narrative musical improv when I went to school at Notre Dame, which is basically, we get a suggestion of a title of a show and then make up an hour-long narrative musical on the spot.
Right.
But to do that, we needed to learn a lot of musical theory and musical theater theory, and sort of edify ourselves and download a catalog of musicals. And in doing so, started writing my own musicals, and then got really into the writing of lyrics and the composition.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went from there after
that. I've been fortunate enough to be working at a string of shows at Disney and Netflix, and a lot of the time when the showrunners have a song in mind, or the writers have a song in mind, they'll have to sort of contract it out to a third-party composer that isn't in the writer's room and working sort of remotely for a bunch of different shows. But I've been able to, in the writers' rooms that I've been in, be a value add, and that I can write the lyrics and music for them and then just pitch it directly to them.
Wow. So if somebody says, hey, I can write music and I want to get a job like that, what do you tell them?
I don't know how, because I do it a very, very atypical, like potentially unpopular way, in that, I'm a TV writer first, and then on the shows that I'm on, I happen to sell songs to those. Whereas most every other songwriter, I don't know. I think every other one just gets contracted by the show as a third party.
Got it. Yeah. Now, I know that, I've seen your work. I loved, so far I've seen several of your shows through the Hollywood Fringe Festival, which every year it seems you come out with a new show and you win awards and nominations, and you seem to get, work with a lot of neurodiverse actors. How did that begin? What got that into your interest?
Sure. So it's all sort of intertwined with my career path, which sort of take me back to the beginning, if you care to hear.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I started working with the neurodiverse community back in high school when I was growing up in Jacksonville, Florida. There's this camp called Camp I'm Special, which is this terrific, non-therapeutic, traditional sleepaway summer camp experience where we'd have 36 campers come in for one-on-one buddy care. Buddies would sleep in the top bunks and campers would sleep in the bottom, and they'd stay for a week at a time, give families respite, and then rotate out the campers and do it for 8 weeks every summer. And so I started working with them, and had always been interested in writing and production in high school. And sort of had grown up during the golden age of kids and family programming with Nickelodeon and Disney. And what I thought was really cool is we'd have campers that were anywhere from 5 to 65 biologically, but were all still cognitively enjoying the 6 to 14 content that Nickelodeon and Disney were targeting, and then digesting it in perpetuity for the rest of their lives. So it's like it's a cool, very singular thing to like write something that someone enjoys potentially for the rest of their life. And so got into writing kids and family programming in college. And, I went to Notre Dame, but my thesis was on, I was double major in finance and TV. And then I made a thesis on writing for kids and family programming. And then, to sort of write for, not just those who were biologically children like I used to be, but also those who like cognitively can enjoy the content forever.
Right.
And when I got out here to LA and met Mary Rings at the Board Act Players, of course.
She's a blessing.
She's great. Yeah, she's phenomenal. She's the best.
I worked there for 10 years.
I know. I'm well aware. You're a legend over there.
Oh my God.
Yeah. They talk about you all the time.
Oh.
But then as I started, working with, like, I imagine anyone that watches your program knows what the Born to Act Players are, but the theater company for folks with cognitive disabilities. It's been going for, I guess, 25 or so years.
Yeah.
Became less interested in writing content just for folks with disabilities and more so, including folks with disabilities and then eventually starring. So, wanted to come up with a model, a live theater model that could, sort of be adapted to be as, inclusive as possible without, alienating our neurotypical audience members insofar as I wanted to make them good shows and entertaining and potentially, like raunchier and PG-13 and eventually R, and our audiences really embrace them and our cast seemed to have a lot of fun. So I'm very grateful.
That's what makes it so refreshing too. There are no limits with it. You make it human. And that's what I loved about Ride or Die.
Oh, thank you.
Now you have a new one coming out. Is that true?
I have one that's it's still in development right now. I'm working with Brandon Baer, who's a director that I've admired in town for a while. Seen a good number of shows recently. He did Be a Good Little Widow that got a bunch of ovation and nominations, and idolize him. So working with him, and then Christopher Sepulveda, who's the producer of, he did American in Paris, and he did Deaf West Spring Awakening.
Right.
And so he has some experience, with adaptive content. And then another producer, Sandy Bynum, who worked with Brandon and Christopher before. But we're still in development. So I'm writing my 8th draft of it right now. I have that due to them on Labor Day. And then we'll hopefully get it to some theaters in the area. And will premiere in LA sometime, middle next year, if and when the world comes back.
Yeah, well.
And that one's called Coconut, and it's starring Jamie Brewer, and Kobe Bird, who I believe you might also know, but a super talented actor with autism who was just in Lock and Key, that Netflix show.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Jamie Brewer and Kobe.
Kobe Bird, yeah.
Hey, you.
Hey, Conor.
Oh, no. Oh, God. I've been ambushed. What's up, brother? How are you?
Hey, good.
I'm good.
Oh, no. And Jamie, too.
Hey,
how are you?
Claire, right?
Say it again?
Long time no see.
You can't forget your
good
Claire.
to see you.
Yes, long time no see, Kobe. And no, I cannot forget my Claire, Jamie. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good to see you. Good to connect. Yeah, the play's not dead. I'm just in rewrites forever. So
That's good.
Don't blame
How's
me.
that going?
Blame your producers.
Yeah. Have you guys connected yet at all, or you just sort of like said, "Hey, this is coming. This is."
We did a reading about a couple months ago.
Okay.
A couple
A
months
couple
ago.
of them.
Yeah, we did do a couple of them, Jamie. Yeah, we did. We
right,
started
Connor?
off.
Really good.
You did it too, right?
2 or
Yeah.
3.
Right.
We've done. I think we've done 2 live readings. We did one. Yeah, all right up here up the road at the Lee Strasberg Center at the Marilyn Monroe Theater. We did, one to sold out, just 99-seat house to test out the very first draft, and that got some really good reception. And then took it back and did a long, like, extensive 2-week equity workshop with these guys, which I was super grateful for their time and talent on. And then yeah, I think I did some more rewrites, and we did when quarantine hit, a Zoom table read of the latest one. But there's a new draft coming eventually. I am the bottom.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, number one, the title's wonderful, Coconuts. And of course, Connor, you're amazing because, again, like I said, every time I see your shows, I will, oh my God, I can't wait till the next one. And the cast that you have is stunning.
Yeah. Who could ask for more?
Thank you so much.
From Lord. What is your biggest joy, Connor?
My biggest joy. So I've just been watching Love on the Spectrum on Netflix, and they set a pretty high bar with some of the joys they list. There's this one guy who just said one of his greatest likes is the sizzle of Mongolian beef.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I don't know, like small sensory things give me, like, modicums of joy that have a lot of value. But I'm struggling to think of one big macro thing. Like, I like the smell of, like, Daisied by Marc Jacobs perfume. I like the taste of teriyaki beef jerky. I like the sound of Kobe and Jamie's voices when they sing and yell at me respectively.
I love it.
Hey.
Since we're,
It's something that you like that I bring you.
What?
And
It's
the
something that
seaweed?
you like that I bring him.
Yes, every time Jamie comes to a rehearsal, she brings me a very large packet of dried salted seaweed from this massive Costco purchase that I can only assume you and your mom bought years ago and are just giving me one of at a time.
Yeah.
Yep.
You love seaweed even.
Yes, I like
It's the best.
And yes, I love those. I'm going to ask you both. Actually, I'd like to ask everybody that, but before I get to that too, I mean, you've been, gosh, you have developed a comedy writing team at what is it, Second City Improv?
An improv troupe. Yeah, we at Born to Act Players, Mary does a phenomenal job of teaching the fundamentals of improv to our cast over there. And so basically what I wanted to do was take a few that were ready to perform in maybe some longer sets for some bigger audiences, and try to teach them more intermediate and advanced improv. We're still doing short form, working our way up to long form, but we have Shannon Diericks and Jacob Braun and Chloe Houghton, I can never pronounce your last name, and just added Kaylee Versfeld. And
really?
So it's I believe the first and only all Down syndrome team of improvisers at the Second City Hollywood, performing on the main stage. When the world's around, we go up every other Sunday, and then I'll get celebs like Jamie and Kobe to come out and guest star when their schedules allow.
I love it. So how did you meet all this wonderful family of yours?
All through the Born Tag Players. Yeah, those four through the Born Tag Players, and then oh gosh, Jacob's on here too. Who let Jacob in?
Oh, we just have a few surprises.
Oh, great. Met the four regulars through Born to Act. Met Kobe when Kobe, did we meet? Oh no, because I came in and recruited you from Wallace Annenberg after you did. What was the name of that show?
185 Wilshire Boulevard.
Yes,
I think that was the show. Yeah.
Recruited you.
I remember.
I
remember that.
And the infamous Dominique Brown to be in Ride or Die hip hop musical. And then Jamie, where did we meet for the first time?
Was it Born to Act?
Was it? I don't know. I'm struggling. I feel like I've met you before anybody else, but I don't. Maybe it was Gail introduced us.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. It's been
somewhat.
years now.
We've known each other for a while.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we have of course your wonderful extended family here. We have Chloe.
Oh
we have
no.
Haley. We have Spencer. We have Jacob. We have Don.
Hey guys.
Who else? We have Shannon.
Hey.
Shannon, speak up so I can see you. It only shows me your faces when you talk.
Oh. Hey, Connor.
Hey, what's up? Spencer, I know you're there too. You got to speak up.
Hi, Connor. I miss you.
Miss you too.
Well, it's I was reading all the stuff that you do. I mean, best buddies, and you work in so many different areas.
Yeah.
What started first? Which was the group that started first, and did you just like
Sure.
was it like dominoes?
Yeah, it's the community is so, for lack of a better word, incestuous, and we run in like the same circles, it seems like, over and over, and even when we don't want to run into each other, we always run into each other, it seems like. And so I started working with the Best Buddies organization. Actually, you can see my vintage,
I see.
25-year-old denim shirt. I started working with, hey Spence, started working with Best Buddies back in high school. Actually, had a buddy back then named Andre, who has since passed away, but was my first introduction to the special needs community. And then when I did Best Buddies, the hip hop musical, in whatever that was, 2018, I got in touch with Gail had put me in touch with Mark Wiley, who's their VP of talent relations over at the Best Buddies nonprofit, and he had given me the nonprofit's blessing to use their name and licensing and logo, and then when that musical did well and won some awards, they had us go and perform at this big charity event that they did down in Malibu that Vanessa Hudgens was the MC of, and then they flew us out to glamorous Bloomington, Indiana, to do a song cycle, a little concert of 6 songs for our biggest crowd ever of 2,800 people. So that was a rush. Jacob was there for that. Jacob, do you remember that trip?
Jacob?
Hi, how are you guys?
Hey man, I was asking them if you remembered our trip to Indiana.
Yes, that was totally fun, and that was my favorite memory.
What was your favorite part of the trip?
My favorite part is being when we with you and John, and you guys are really good friends.
Thanks, man. You're a good friend too.
So and what about? I mean, I remember seeing Jacob and Spencer and so many of you in the Ride or Die musical show, correct? How was that experience, Dominique?
Oh, Dom, hey! What's up, man?
What's up?
Good to see you.
It was a very, very good experience, and getting to meet so many people who were doing this Fringe Festival. It was like, it was nothing like I expected it seemed. And it was always great to see, it was always great to see Mr. John Tucker there. He's basically always, I'm assuming he's always basically talking about me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how many shows have you done so far? Have you been acting a long time?
Yeah, so I started acting when I was 16. Then I started doing Miracle Project with Spencer in 2014. And
Yeah.
like in 2018, that's when I met Connor, who put me in his original musical Ride or Die.
Right. Well, I have to say I think I even saw that musical twice because I loved it so much. I was like, it was so good. How about you, Spencer? You had a way to get into that too, didn't you? Like come in a little later.
Yep. And when Gail gave us the call, and and Connor was there, and I was so nervous.
Yeah. But even though you were nervous, my God, you used those nerves in an amazing way. I mean, you were all so brilliant in it.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Well,
And
It
David,
was
you were saying-
fun. It was so fun, and doing the Fringe Festival, it was a great honor.
you were saying, Connor?
Well, honored to work with you too, Spencer. David, you might have been asking if she came a little bit later during the duration of the show.
Yes.
Yes, she did. Yeah, she was a complication that came a little bit later. But in the actual production of it, behind the scenes, Spencer, what you were referring to, I think, was we actually had to recast her part. Originally, Desiree Taylor was working with us, and then had a conflict. So Spencer had to come in and save the day. And usually we have a nice long horizon. We rehearsed for 6 months leading up to the show, and Spencer had to come in, I think with about half that time and learn all of her material and solos and songs and voice parts. And was our save the day. Appreciate you, Spencer.
Boom, like that.
Thank you,
And she
Connor.
did it. She did it. And how about Mr. Tucker?
Oh no. Oh.
Yes, it is.
John, how do you have any fond memories of going to Bloomington, Indiana?
It was good. It was really good. I think the first play that I was in with you was what was it? The hip hop.
It was Best Buddies, the hip hop musical.
Yeah, the Best Buddies hip hop. That was the first one I was in.
I appreciate that you remember the names of them. It shows me that you really cared a lot about the project.
Yeah, it was with I think it was with the Bone Jack players, with most of them.
Yes, correct.
And then the second play was Ride or Die. It was the second one.
Mm-hmm.
John, Ride or Die, you seem to be, you were pushed to the limits there. You did stuff you hadn't done before. At least I haven't seen you do. How was doing that?
I mean, it was good though because basically this is gonna be sad. I had to die.
Oh, you're not supposed to say, are you?
It's like the first thing that happens. It's okay.
Oh, right.
It's the log line.
So yeah, I had to die off, and it was great because the character that I was playing was edited was the last name of Missy Edit, so that was really cool. Playing her last name, but it was good though. Fine.
For context, David, and anybody that's listening to the show was essentially about like these two best friends, these ride or dies, who one of them dies at the very beginning of the musical, and the other best friend has to help them try to get to heaven. But John's character, Elliot, is a really shitty person, and so he has to do a lot of reconciliation and correct a lot of wrongs before God will let him through his pearly gates.
Yeah. I could see that turned into a movie.
We'll take it.
Oh my gosh. How about you, Shannon? How is it working with Mr. Connor?
When I first met Connor, it was the Best Buddies hip hop musical. And my favorite song was What Makes a Buddy.
Oh, very nice.
Shannon, yeah, that's the song that we performed for Vanessa Hudgens and John Stamos down in Malibu, right, Shannon?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Kaylee Versfeld.
Hello, David.
Hello, Kaylee.
With me, I just enjoy Connor so very much, and with his multi-talented career, I'm actually happy that I'm working aside with him and with the Hollywood Fringe Festival as well. And I never got out there before since I was in high school. So I really thank Connor for getting me into the comedy side that I've never seen before. So it's like even especially in Oogie, I think it was Oogie Boogie, wasn't it? Connor?
There was a song called Boogie Boy that was
Boogie Boy, that was it. I'm sorry.
It was Spencer's solo, and Kaylee was one of these your dancers in it.
That part really made it a lot of fun for me because I haven't seen that side of me before.
Yeah.
and it's like, wow, Kayla, you got it. Have fun. There's a lot of energy in there, and impress Connor, even though he wouldn't know he's like that. So I'm really happy that I was part of it with that as well, and it was really great to be part of the Best Buddies hip hop musical with him.
Right.
So thank you, Connor, so much on that. It means
No,
a
I
lot
have-
to me and my mom.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Thank you,
I
guys.
have to say that the cast was just wonderful in that
Mm-hmm.
musical. Now, how many hip hop musicals have you done? You have
Me
you
or
have
Kaylee?
or Connor. You've
Oh,
done
sure.
you've done the best buddies one.
Yeah, so I guess working backwards, 2019 was Ride or Die, the hip hop musical. Before that, 2018 was Best Buddies, the hip hop musical. And then before that, 2017 was actually just a neurotypical production to see if I could, even do the model at a baseline. And that was called Divorce, the hip hop musical.
Ah, okay. All right.
Jacob, you get a text?
Oh, did I hear a text? Hey,
Mhm.
how about Chloe?
I was in one of those shows. I made a surprise appearance.
Which
as
one?
Well. I was on one of them.
Which one?
Do you remember, Connor? You asked me.
Say it again. One more
Sub.
time.
You asked me to sub. You asked me to sub for somebody.
Yeah, did you sub into Best Buddies?
Was it the Best Buddies one? I think it was.
Help me out. What happened? I'm confused.
I subbed in on one of the shows. Someone wasn't going to be there, so I subbed in.
Yes.
Jacob.
Oh, are you talking about? You're talking about when we did improv at Second City.
Yeah, was that the Best Buddy one?
Yeah. So all right. So that it's a little bit confusing because there's a Best Buddies, the hip hop musical, and then Best Buddies is also the name of the improv troupe that we perform with.
That one.
At Second City.
That
That's
one.
the one you're talking about.
I was in that one too, David, as well.
Oh, how cool. How cool. How about you, Chloe? What about, tell me your history with Mr. Hanney.
Well, of course, I do like working with Connor on the side. He is a great person. I think he definitely deserves a great person. I think my first time I did, he came to my house and he interviewed me, and he came over and answered all the questions to me, especially because he came over and hang out with me, and then we got to his house and we practiced the Best Buddies together. So not just that, it was a lot of me, Jacob, Shannon, Craig, John Tucker, everybody else was in that they're in. Now, of course, Connor's team, it was Rob and a bunch more others. And I remember that the time when we did the Just Make a Buddy, that was like my favorite song that I like.
Yeah.
And for me, I just like working with others. And not just that, Connor asked me, Jacob, and Shannon to step in for the Sound Musical.
Very cool.
So, David, I want to say something. Connor, too. You guys remember this picture that we took together?
Yeah, outside of the field.
Yes, yeah, that I did.
Why me and Dominique together?
Oh, yeah.
Dominique, you said he'd just be talking about you. You were right.
I kept in my phone all this time.
Well,
I mean, they were taking that.
And David, real quick, to piggyback off what Chloe had said and just clarify a few things.
Sure.
Yeah, because our production and rehearsal horizon was so long, it made it untenable to sort of rent one consistent third-party space. So I would have all of the actors and their parents come and like load into my living room, and we'd all, I'd clear out all my furniture, and we, put tape down, and we'd rehearse in my living room from January to the Fringe Festival in June. And then when Chloe's talking about me coming over to her house with her parents to interview, that's sort of my pre-production process. I in my quest to crack a successful, sustainable, adaptive model of live neurodiverse programming. One of the things I was running into a lot, we're seeing a lot was, when some of our actors would get sides that were from old standards, Neil Simon, it might ring false or come out clunkily or sort of seem labored or a little bit more forced. And so what I started then doing was making a pretty extensive outline of the story I wanted to tell, and then precast a bunch of talented actors based on the parts that I wanted. And then before I did, a lick of writing, I went to each of their houses individually and sat down with their folks and, spent hours hours. And I know, John, thank you very much for your patience, but just to download on this big Excel file their vocab bank and speech patterns and phraseology, so that every word that I wrote into the script was like directly pulled from their vernacular, so that and then everybody, all my neurodiverse talent was off book faster than my neurotypical talent as a result of that, with the exception of John, who never learned his lines.
Tucker.
Oh gosh.
But magic, let me tell you, everyone was magic in that show. I mean, and it's fascinating to hear that story, Conor, because I was noticing how they were the characters, each actor was so full, I mean, and rich. And so it's fascinating that you went to each house and got to know them and got to talk to the parents. So it showed.
Yeah, one of my side hustles is ghostwriting autobiographies, and I do those in the first person. So those are long, 45,000, 90,000 word nonfiction manuscripts that are all written in the voice of a character. And to do that, you gotta go over to their houses and meet with the clients for dozens of hours to really, really download exactly how they would talk and convey information. So it was just sort of like a transposition of that for stage play.
Right. This is I have a question actually for everybody that we at the beginning I asked Conor, and I'm gonna what is it, the question, I'm gonna make it grow in a way. What brings you joy at this moment in your life? What brings you joy? And we could start with whoever wants to go. Jacob?
Okay, so I think it makes me joy to see Conor and his family and his friends, and I see me, Chloe, and KK, and John Tucker, and Best Buddies, and then he put us in second CD, so it's kind of awesome. We put it in a musical. He's a very talented. He worked on Netflix. He worked on all these great shows. He met Mario Lopez. What?
This is true. Jacob, what brings you joy, though? What's one thing that brings you joy that's not me?
Makes me joy is singing.
Singing, yeah. And then I see you post a lot of pictures of your jacuzzi and of your tattoos and of beers.
I've seen those too.
Yes.
Okay, I have a question. What's your favorite tattoo, Jacob?
I don't have a favorite one, but I can show you. That one?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
But I love doing tattoos. I love doing cannonballs and pool, so they are my favorites.
And then when quick story if you want to hear it, David.
Yeah.
When we got to Indiana, Jacob had said that the one and only thing he wanted to do was to have a beer at the hotel lobby with the permission of his mom, with me and Sean, our beatboxer. Right. And Jacob, do you remember this? Jacob, you remember this?
Yes, I do. I do remember that, but I do remember Sean got food poisoning, and I got really sad for him.
This is true. Sean did get food poisoning, and he was throwing up backstage before we were about to go on. But but previously that night, you were allowed to have one beer a day, your mom said, And so we got you a Budweiser, and then we waited until midnight, and then you told us that it was another day, so it was time to have another beer.
Yes.
You know
I
how
was gonna ask you what beer you got.
there you go.
I was gonna ask you what beer you guys drinking.
Oh,
I didn't know. I didn't know that you're a Bud guy.
Mm-hmm.
oh.
Yeah, same here.
My dad is. My dad
How
is.
about you, Spencer? What brings you joy?
What brings me joy is Connor, my friends, writing, learning Korean, and sign language.
Ah,
I'm starting writing songs.
I love it.
What song are you writing, Spencer?
I'm writing a song called Flower Boy.
Can you give us a taste of it?
No, it's not even finished.
Just like a little lick, just the tiniest, like just a couple words.
Connor's not even finished.
Okay, fine. I won't put you on the spot.
Okay. When it's finished, though, we get to hear it first, right?
Yeah, we need to hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
How
Connor,
about you, Dominique?
Oh man, what brings me joy is just being around my friends and family, and just having a dream of being a superstar.
Nice. What's this?
This is a little thing my mom made. It's get back here. It's a poster of the stuff that I've done.
Oh, I love it.
I love it too.
That's cool.
It's gorgeous.
Very cool.
What a great present.
And then David, did Dom tell you that he and I wrote a poem together that he performed on video for the Black Lives Matter movement?
No.
I
Yeah,
have.
check it out, yeah.
Gotta get that.
We wrote it. It's called Black and Blue. Right, Dom?
Yep.
Wow.
Hey, David,
I hear
I know you're making a video on YouTube, so I am eating pizza, so I'm so sorry. So can you please cut it out?
Well, no, I can't cut it out.
I can't.
No.
Oh
That's
God.
because of comedy.
You're on live,
They-
baby. But next time, get enough for all of us so we can all have some.
Yeah, the next time we surprise Connor doing a virtual pizza party.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
With beers, Jacob.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Is Kaylee next?
Of course.
What
So
brings you joy?
of course. What does joy mean to me? Oh dear Lord, I have so many joy in me, by the way. It's the people that I get to meet every day. And especially being around with you, David, and everybody around that I love spending time with. But mostly, I've been writing a lot of poetry myself, Connor.
Ooh.
Because I'm very poetic, like that. So I've been doing that and advocating for people with disabilities and without.
Do you have a poem that you want
So-
to share with us?
Like I said, I have so many joy, but if I had to choose one, I would choose myself. No offense, because I've been told that I bring a laugh in anyone to make you smile, and that's what I love right there is the joy that I get to be with them. Like, for example, with you, David, when I met you, you had that flood of energy that I really liked, and you kept it going, and I love how people do that too. It's like, those are what I always say in my speeches, that it tells that kindness is contagious. Everybody's bringing kindness to each other. And I love spreading joy through that because we get to be all around us. And that's the best thing of life. And that's what I say myself, because I bring a smile to everyone. Like, some people with their disability or whatever, they ask, like, if I wasn't smiling right now, people think that I'm sad. But when people make me laugh, that's the joy that I get right there. Because when I laugh, I smile. And we all know that is true. So.
I like that. I like that.
And all the time when I see you at events.
Exactly, Jamie. And I get to see everyone again. And also, like Dominique says, about friends and friendship as well, because it's not just the kindness that we get, it's the people that we love. And that's what I like about. Love is a strong word for anyone, so that's my passion.
KK, do you have a line from a poem that you'd want to share with us?
I actually have some, but I don't know where it is. But I have one in my head now. If you want to hear it,
Please, yeah.
It's not really good, but it's good so far. I mean,
sure.
Always be positive. It's wonderful.
So this one is kind of like about kindness and friendship and betrayal and all the love together. So it's kind of like this a little bit. One day, there were times I asked, people go, people denying things. All the love you get is like a flying dove. And a butterfly that comes in, a source of butterfly that is me. Someone that I just bring to a lot of people. And that people is all around us in the whole world. Because this world needs us. Changing the world altogether. And the kindness that we get is the beauty of respectfulness of inside of us. And how much we love each other. We're always there. Be there for each other. Even though that person betrays you, doesn't mean you're not afraid to tell you who you really are.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's gorgeous. Hey, Shannon.
Yeah.
What brings you joy?
What brings me joy is everybody makes me happy. And I like to make everybody happy with the Meet and everybody in the whole wide world.
Wow. I love how I'm hearing a lot of what makes you happy is making others happy. I love that.
Yeah.
Let's see. How about, we got Chloe already, right? Did we?
Yeah.
We got Chloe. How about John Tucker?
I'm ready.
What brings me joy? And say, well, basically, one that brings me joy is to hang out with Dominique Brown. Dominique Brown, that brings me joy because both of us, me and Dominique, we like music together.
Yeah.
Dominique is a really good singer, and I'm a really good rapper. So when we've been in, me and Dominique together, it's just like wow, it's very amazing because you get the hip hop side of me, then you get the R&B side, which is Dominique. So we that will actually mix in. Like Conor said about the lines in the script and everything, right? It's funny because when I'm with Conor, it's hard to move my lines with Conor. But on the other side, we had what's her name? Is it Kelsey or Kelsey?
Kelsey, our director, Kelsey Gores. Yes.
Yeah, her. That was kind of easy for me to work with her because she took the time, and and it was just like it was so easy to work with her because it was so calmly. She didn't really get all, but she didn't. But I guess she didn't like blew it out.
Sure.
Yeah. So
I was definitely the bad cop, and Kelsey was definitely the good cop for sure.
Yes, he was. He was the bad cop, so he was good. And then so it was her and Dominique too, because Dominique was helping me out too with the lines. So working with both of them, but Dominique and Kelsey, it was just like okay,
that's like icing on the cake, right?
Icing on the cake. It's really good. And then I did, it's so funny. I did like 2 songs. I did one with Conor's brother. Okay, what was his brother's name?
His name's Kevin.
Kevin.
You worked with him for 6 months.
Yeah. That was it. Wait, yeah, hold on. He goes, uno, dos, agos, wait, uno, dos, agos, solo, uno, dos, amigo. It does a lot, but.
So we know that JT's a very, very talented rapper in English. So for Best Buddies that About Musical, I wanted to give him a bilingual rap to do in both English and Spanish.
Yeah.
I remember that. That script was difficult, but you guys did amazing stuff with it. I was looking at the lines. I said, "Oh my God, I don't know if I could do this." But I keep on saying I loved watching it.
Well, I appreciate your help, David.
I think the highlight of the whole side. So when I'm like on stage where all the cast, I'm dying, I'm going up to heaven.
Well, don't, because you can't say anything else. Don't say anything. Okay, we'll mute John now. All right, thank you, John.
He's back.
Kobe is next.
Hi.
Kobe, what brings you joy, Kobe?
You know, David, a lot of things bring me joy. One of the things that really brings me the joy the most, that brings me to life, is acting and being able to bring people's art to life and being a part of those jobs. The things I've seen Conor write, the characters I've seen him come up with are just out of this world, are just so fun to play as. It's a treat working with him, it really is. And every single time I'm with him doing a project, it's so fun. But yeah, and a lot of that actually has inspired me to write my own book series that I've been writing for about a year or so, and it's been something.
What's it called?
Called Goodbye Blue Jay.
Nice.
It's I've been writing it for a while, but it's
Is
just
it
something
manga?
I'm doing. It's a light novel, but it's novelization, but it has some of the but it has the art style of manga, but it's much more realistic with characters and dialogue and such. But yeah, I've been writing it for a while, but it's just something I'm doing for fun, and it really helps me with what's going on right now. But yeah, those two, but those very things are what bring me to joy, and I'm really thankful that I've been able to work with you, Conor.
Likewise, brother. Couldn't do without you.
Miss Jamie Brewer?
And you know, one of the things I'm going to say is family.
Family.
You know,
Yeah.
David.
Define family, Jamie.
Well, for me, and Spectre, I actually know some sign language myself. Actually, I'm still learning myself as well, and I'm also learning Spanish as well, which is kind of incredible what John Tucker is doing with that one play.
Yeah.
I want to eventually get there for that, that's leading into what one of my greatest joys is continuing and learning languages and cultures, which is part of family as well, because family could be anybody. Not just my family, but everybody, including you guys.
Aww.
And you know what's so funny about it too? I don't know if Jamie knows this. Jamie, you know what we did last year. This is right before I got into Conor's play. We did a movie together.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We did Love You More.
Yes.
Love You More.
Great show.
Well, which is truly incredible. Which I'm still curious on what they're doing with that, actually, John.
Yeah.
That's another thing. And is with family, it's also camaraderie that gives me joy as well, that brings everybody together. And also working with the Coconut crew as well, with Conor and Brandon and all of them as well. Conor did the exact same thing with Kobe and I as well. He also interviewed us as well. We went over to his place and all that kind of stuff, which is really great. And the biggest thing is the family, and as soon as we find a virus for what's going on crazy right now, we will. Our families are going to be stronger.
I tell you, they will be. And you said that, and one of the biggest things that I miss the most is a hug. So
I miss hugs.
everybody, group hug.
Yeah, and then they made me after
Virtual hug.
all of us seeing David's mom again. David's gonna go see David. David's gonna go see his mom.
I am. I'm going to see Mama.
Say hi to your mom for me, David.
That's one of my
Thank you,
biggest
Mama.
joys, my Mama.
So our families are our greatest joy.
Yes.
Yeah.